Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Be Handy. Today we're going to change oil on this Toyota Highlander that I've been showing you before. And what I'm going to do today is actually switch to the Fumoto valve for ease of getting the oil changes done without a mess. And what you'll need to do that is a crow's feet to be able to torque this valve to the 15 foot-pounds that's recommended by Fumoto. I found a great deal on Amazon too for the Motorcraft filter that is equivalent to what's needed on here, the equivalent to the Toyota filter. So both Toyota and Ford have commissioned Purolator to make their filters. So that'll be something that I'll be using. As you can see, it has the nice silicone basically bypass and everything in there. So it is basically a Purolator filter equivalent to the PL line on the Purolator. I have a filter wrench. I use this to break loose the filter if it's a little tough on me. It's basically a let's see, a 1-inch, and it's 14 millimeter to get the plug out. And I'll be filling up with this Highlander 5W30 synthetic because it was on sale and it's good stuff, and the car has 168,000 miles on it, and I couldn't pass up the deal. $12 for basically 5 quarts of full synthetic. So I'll be doing that here, and I'll get started. Alright, we are down here at the bottom of this, and we will be releasing this plug here, and then I will undo it to get all the oil out. So now it's loose. Bring in the can. And now we're draining the oil. I'm draining the oil here at the bottom, so the old plug has been removed, and then we'll put the Fumoto valve in after it's done draining, and then I'll show you how that goes. I'll give it a few minutes to finish draining here. As you know, it was very messy getting that off, so I had to basically use the nitrile glove and get that going. So give me a couple of minutes here. I'll pause and let it drain, and then we'll get the Fumoto valve on. While we're waiting for the oil to drain, I just wanted to show you the location of where the oil filter is. It is basically right underneath the header, right in here. It's always a good idea to get some gloves on when you work on this stuff. And I don't know, yeah, you can see the tip of the filter here. And then you could see that Toyota does a nice job of putting a gutter right underneath the filter so that it will drain right into the pan. And you could see I targeted the pan underneath to be able to catch all the oil. You could see it kind of shining and shimmering there. So once I loosen up that filter, I'll just set it into the gutter there and let it finish draining. The drain plug is open, and that's a nice thing about that, is you can have one pan that will drop both of those things. Alright, so I'll do that then and show you what it's like. It's sitting in the gutter and draining, and it goes all into the pan, and we'll let it go for a little while. And see, there's not much of a mess, thankfully, since it all goes into that big pan. Right there. See, it's still draining, and we'll go from there. Okay, now I'm going to get the filter, the new filter ready. There's the old filter. Here's a new filter. We'll just get it ready. I'll get some of this new oil. Stick my finger in there and just kind of lube that rim. And then I'll just get this on hand tight in here. This will be interesting to do holding the camera in one hand. So you just got to feel for where the filter is going to spin on, and just kind of get that centered and spin it on. Get it on hand tight. I did make sure that the O-ring from the other one stayed on. Everything is good. Now again, this car is cold. Don't be doing this with a hot car. I'm just doing that for videotaping. So usually I like to change everything hot. So don't get a rag in there like that. Again, I'll get this filter wrench on. Then it helps me turn it by hand some more. And that's seating fairly tight. I can't spin it anymore by hand. And I'm not going to do a filter. I'm not going to use that ratchet on it. This is just good enough and tight enough to go the rest of the way. So now we'll just continue waiting for it to drain out of the drain plug, and get under there and wipe everything that is around that oil filter. Now to get this Fumoto valve ready for this, again, it comes with pretty good instructions, as you can see here. But also I looked up on the internet and saw that they recommend 15 foot-pounds of torque on this valve to get it seated in. And what it comes with is the ball valve right here. It's in the open position, as you can see right through it. Once it goes into lock, that ball valve is locked, and you can see the ball on that back end there. Again, to open it up and over, and then you can see right through it. It comes with a nice gasket, and then this guy here is just for protection so that it doesn't pop up. So that's what I'll be putting on. So I'll take this off for right now. The proper crow's foot is usually about a 17 millimeter right there. And what I'll do is put it at 90 degrees on my torque wrench so that I know I am getting the proper torque on that. And I'll set my torque wrench to that 15 foot-pounds, spin this on, and then torque it up. And once it clicks, we're done. If I don't like the position, I may go up to 18 foot-pounds, but no more than that. So let's do that right now. All right, as you can see here, we're just gonna start spinning this on. There we go. Now I'm going to bring in my torque wrench. It's at 90 degrees. And just click it. Keep torquing it till it clicks. We don't want to change the position of this from that 90 degrees. And that is 15 foot-pounds and where it landed. That's actually a good position because all I have to do is push, move it over. I like that position. It's in line with all of this, so if it hits here, it is going to have to smash in these frame rails and that muffler before it gets to here. So I mean, that exhaust pipe, this exhaust pipe is lower than that, so we are protected. It's not a problem here. So now we'll put that little protective piece on here just to make sure it is all secure. There we go. And it is locked. And now we can fill from the top. So it fits fairly good on this car. I know it looks like it's scary because it sticks out a little bit, but again, this line here, and I'll show you, it is still somewhat above all that, so we're fairly protected. And it's below this front rail right here as well. I mean, it's above that, not below that, so we're all set. All right, now it's time to fill. We got the oil filter on, we've got that valve on, we're ready to go. All right, time to fill the 5 quarts. Clean the pan and the funnel, and now we're just filling. Boy, what a difference between 5W30 and 0W20. 5W30 is a lot thicker feeling. I remember the old days when you do 1040 in some of the older cars. But man, this stuff compared to 0W20 that I filled the other day on that Subaru flows a lot thicker. All right, we'll just let that keep draining in there. Now one of the things that you'll see is when you start the car, there's going to be that maintenance required light, which may be driving some of you crazy. And also, just so you know, I have 4,500 and basically 3 miles on the oil. To get rid of that light, what you do is this: with the car off, you need to hold this button and turn the key forward and see that all turn to zeros. So I'll set up the camera here just a second and I'll show you. Press the button and then turn the key forward, and what you'll see is those dashes will keep going, and then the required service will go away. So then you no longer have to deal with that. Then on trip B, I usually zero that out so that I know when I did my oil change. So that's basically what I'll do, is I'll just zero this out now, and I'll know how many miles I have on my oil as well on the B. The A I'll use for my regular trip meter. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Just Be Handy, and give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And again, the maintenance required light is no longer flashing. You didn't see any lights for oil pressure or anything like that. So we're good to go. Enjoy and have a good day.